What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. So far we've done these for AD carries and for mid laners, so now it's the jungle, and in my opinion this is going to be the one where we actually see the most change right now, and also probably over the next couple of weeks. Throw the video a like if you did, let me know what you think, but also remember this is my opinion from playing a ton the last few days and on the PB, plus looking at stat stuff as well. I'm not saying these are the only junglers because it's one of the most diverse roles, but these I think are the most top tier. So the first one in the 5-star tier is going to be Evelyn, and a lot of lethality stuff was actually nerfed and Eve was already strong, so now she's kind of like stronger in comparison to others. Your clear is still good with the AoE, you have strong ganks, and just like you out assassin the assassin, I guess, if that makes sense. Like you have your ultimate, which is kind of tanky, you can pop out and basically one-shot people, and it's also not that big of an issue when tanks are coming up because you can flank around them. This might not be one that you expected to see or you have actually seen in your games over the past couple of days, but I think if she gets popular then you're really going to realize why she's so good. Masteries 12, 18, 4th tier as well. I would go Bounty Hunter in Frosty, by the way, just because you're roaming around, you're killing everyone, you should be able to pick up those stacks. I think Challenging Smite is probably a little bit better now because you're dueling other high damage people or tanks. Protobelt, Rylai's, Lichbane though. Also Duskblade could actually provide a ton of extra burst if you went hybrid or AD one-shot. This one you're definitely expecting in 5 stars. Kha'Zix is so broken right now. They did touch him a little bit in the update, but they really messed this one up. Basically your Q now refunds 60% of the cooldown on isolated targets, which means you can spam it, and it also does a bonus 50% more than it did before. He gets his stealth and bushes out of combat when he evolves his R as well, but it's really kind of Duskblade actually. Kha'Zix actually kind of sucks a little bit earlier, I think, but once you start evolving Q and get some AD behind you, it's broken. You easily one-shot people, and you can get like 600 plus damage over a team fight with your Duskblade, like with the ultimate charges, and that is true damage. That is ridiculous. I would really suggest you ban this guy right now. I think he's completely broken. Masteries though, we're going to go Thunderlords and either with Double-Edged Sword or the Bounty Hunter. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. Items, I have been trying Warrior, Black Cleaver for more of a well-rounded build, or you can get that later than Duskblade, Ghostblade. It's just way too much damage and it's ridiculous. So the last one in 5 stars is actually Nunu. Still completely busted from last patch. There's no real surprise here. They gave him percentage health, stacking health bars with Cinderhulk. That doesn't make any sense. Masteries are a bit weird though because like his slow doesn't actually count as hard crowd control. So the new Keystone won't proc. Bond of Stone, maybe you can go. You could even troll with Wind Speakers, I guess. It's not ideal, but he's still way too strong as we move into a tank meta in my opinion, because these assassins just cannot kill him, and reducing their attack speed and their like move speed as well with his Ice Blast is really strong. Item wise, Cinderhulk, Frozen Heart, Visage, you're unkillable, you're very annoying, and also by the way, you're very good at diving people with your slow and your ultimate. It helps these assassins dive by taking the damage. So 4 star, the first one is going to be Shaco, however you want to say it. Duskblade just added even more burst into this guy's kit. His ultimate I actually think is better anyway, but every single Shaco I have seen recently pops off and just one-shots people mid-game, like it's ridiculous. He also has the added advantage of getting through an entire team to their backline to do it. He was already okay before the preseason patch, but now I actually think he's better. Masteries would go Thunderlords, of course, with Bounty Hunter or Double-Edged Sword. You can actually go Storm Rage as well because you do proc it, you run around like a maniac, but I think the Thunderlords is a nice bit of added burst to your combo. Items I've been seeing mostly Warrior, Duskblade, Shiv, and then Crit. Just a one-shot combo. Like your job is to dive in, you go nuts, you kill the enemy AD carry, and then you use your ultimate to survive. The second 4-star champion is Vi, and basically you're like a mix of damage and carry, and probably the best mix there is right now. You can keep up early, you're naturally very good versus assassins because she ults and locks them in place and just completely shuts them down. In my opinion, I think she actually could even fit into the 5-star tier. I don't think she is that strong like on her own, but naturally in this game as it is right now, she does so well. You provide a front line and you shut down divers. Like you're also a legit hard counter to assassins, but especially Rengar right now that is camouflage. So it means that when he gets close, you can actually see him, right? If he tries to jump into your team, you just press R immediately and he can't even get to his target. He does literally no damage and just dies. Mastery is 12, 18 or 0, 12, 18. So Thunderlords or the new Colossus Mastery. I've seen people do both of these and both of them have done well. The one problem, to be honest though, with Colossus is it scales with your maximum health and you don't really stack much health unless you're going tank. Items though, Warrior, Triforce, and Tanky. You can adapt and go Warrior, Black Cleaver if you want for a bit more rounded build, but you're basically getting some early damage and then you're transitioning into tank. Now this one is like a bonus one really. So in 4 stars, Talon. This is not proven yet, okay? So don't try it and feed and blame me. I think Talon could be a really good jungler with his kit now, with his like parkour and stuff. I've seen a few do it on the PB and it was really good. You're highly mobile. You can't invade him because he jumps away, but he can evade you so easily. I'm not sure. He has loads of damage. He is really strong, but I think that it should work. And if it did, it would fit into this 4 star. Hecarim is the next proper one at 4 stars. This might be a little bit of a surprise, but stat wise, he is doing so well in basically every region, showing as a like top 2 or 3 jungler. Triforce Cinderhulk and tank after means he kind of fits both roles really. Like, you're a heavy ganker, you're good at punishing low health assassins, he can kill them, but often they can't kill him. His clear speed is very good, even with these camps that got changed to have more in them. Your Q hits everybody anyway. He might even move to a 5-star tier if we see the meta move to more tanks. Mastery is same with via Colossus or damage keystone in my opinion. I think Colossus is awesome if it works properly, but you'd have to hit that fear though. So if you goof your ultimate, it's kind of like game over. Items: Cinderhulk, Triforce, Deadman's, and Visage. Triforce is all the damage you're going to need, and then you just build tanky for your team. Skarner is, again, basically the same as Vi and Hecarim. You're already decent, underplayed, but versatile. You damage while being tanky as well. He's also a hard counter to assassins with his ultimate. You try diving a carry with Skarner around, you're not really going to have very much fun. Masteries, I go 0, 12, 18 with Colossus. In my opinion, you have a stun with your E and ultimate, so you have different ways to proc it. It makes you super tanky, especially with Cinderhulk. Now, this is the item thing. Like, it depends what you really want, but either Warrior or Cinderhulk into Triforce, then full tank after. In case you haven't got this from the last few ones, really, with lethality items nerfed, Triforce and tank is back to being super strong because other people just can't kill you. Now, the last one in 4 stars is going to be Rengar. So this is a bit of a weird one because, to be honest, nothing much has changed from the old Rengar. Actually, a ton has changed from the old Rengar, like in his kit, but he actually does the same job, exactly the same as he was doing before. There's still very little counterplay unless you actually have the champion picks to kind of counter him. If you're a bad Rengar though, he's going to be a 1-star. A God Rengar, 5 stars, and overall I think 4 stars, especially right now. One of the reasons is because he is honestly the only champion who can consistently screw up Kha'Zix for me even early, and that is one reason I like him so much. Masteries, I would go 12, 18, Thunderlord's Assassin, Bounty Hunter, or Double-Edged Sword, doesn't really matter. For the item builds, I kind of still like the same build, honestly, like Warrior, Dustblade, or Ghostblade, Shiv, Infinity Edge. Dustblade does add a good amount of true damage burst, and it can help you to one-shot as well. So let's move into the 3 stars, and the first one I want to talk about is kind of a bonus, like Talon, I guess, and it's Rammus. I'm not going to go full in depth because 1, nothing has really changed apart from Colossus as the keystone for Rammus, and 2, this is a reaction to all the AD assassins being everywhere. Right now, he's actually a top 2 or 3 jungler in most regions because of that, but as we get away from assassins, I think it's kind of going to fall off again. The first legit one in 3 stars though is Olaf. So he builds full tank, but he ganks hard and he does a ton of damage. He can absorb an assassin's combo, then turn around, lifesteal it back up and kill them. Like, that is ridiculous. I don't think he's as good as he used to be because strength is gone and others are going to come up. He is still a really good tanky carry though. Mastery is kind of the problem actually. Like 0, 12, 18, I think strength being removed in my opinion does make him a lot weaker though, because keystone wise is a bit weird. Maybe you can get Bond of Stone, I guess, maybe Warlords or further. Like, I'm still testing it, but Colossus won't proc on slows. I think it's going to come down to one of those 3, so that's what you should probably test. But for items, Cinderhulk, Visage, Deadman is just full tank. Zac is another one that's hard to rank because he's 24/7 banned at the moment, and I haven't really seen him for a long time. Maybe he would be 4 stars, but I think it's safer to put him here for now. But you do still have the long range engage and crowd control, which means you can deal with assassins and kind of camp them early while they're weak. It's also really hard to one-shot, right, with an assassin because Zac has his passive, and it's even more troll with a Guardian Angel. Masteries, Colossus seems super good on him. You engage on the entire enemy team and get like a 2k health shield. That's pretty nuts. Items, same as before, Cinderhulk, Visage, Randuin's, more damage if you want it, but it's up to you. So Elise is going to be in 3 stars because with lethality kind of sucking some ass for junglers and assassins everywhere, welcome back to Elise, who can deal with both tanks and assassins. You can actually one-shot assassins like if you catch them, and Leandra is going to help you versus tanks as well. You're a really solid AP carry jungler for now. Masteries, I would go Thunderlords at the moment. In my opinion, it's going to be better now. You engage from range with Cocoon anyway, so Colossus is kind of useless. Items will be the same though. Runic Echoes, Proto Belt, Rylai's Abyssal, just pretty much whatever you need for the game. Amumu is one that I wanted to stick a little bit higher actually, but he can just get out-ganked, out-farmed, invaded, and cry all game. As far as like abusers of the new Colossus goes though, Amumu is probably one of the best junglers at least. He does a lot of damage, he has loads of crowd control, he engages, gets a massive shield. Like, it's hard to be an assassin and kill stuff if Amumu stuns you multiple times. Mastery is definitely Colossus, is so good on him, and items personally, I think you might actually want to go Cinderhulk now into like an Abyssal, Frozen Heart, and Rylai's. I don't think full tank is like what you really need, but Runic Echoes is really risky. It doesn't really synergize with the Colossus keystone either, so sometimes you gotta risk it though, so it's up to you. Sejuani is very similar to Amumu. Basically, you're like on a boar instead of a mummy. It's kind of the same champion. You have really solid engage and crowd control. You don't die, you do damage, you abuse Colossus as well, but the advantage over some others is you can legit build full tank and still do damage. If you're against a full AD team, that's all you have to do and you're still gonna be able to kill them. It's kind of ridiculous. Masteries, Colossus is overpowered. Let's pick up that again. And items, Cinderhulk, Deadman's, Visage, just whatever you are playing against. So finally, let's move on to 2 stars. So these are going to be, can be good, but they can also suck. I guess that's how we're going to phrase this. Graves, in my opinion, there are better choices right now for an AD carry jungler. Shaco, Rengar, Kha'Zix, I think all do a better job. I know Graves ganks and stuff and he does a lot of damage, but he's kind of more of like a power farmer than do work in a fights jungler. He's like good and still strong, but I think the game right now is looking for more gank heavy and burst. He definitely took a hit with the new lethality as well. Masteries, I would go Thunderlords with Bounty Hunter like right in the fights. I don't know about double-edged sword really because you are just right at the front. Items, we could see the traditional build of like Warrior, Ghostblade, Phantom Dancer, Moore and stuff. Moore I think actually is better on him, but Duskblade would also be really good. So for Lee Sin, it's pretty much the same as before preseason. You can be solid, but you can also suck some major dong. He might be 3 stars if you go Titanic and Cinderhulk, or you just get fed with Warrior, Black Cleaver, and more, because actually I really like more of Mortius on him now. I might be being a bit too harsh, but I think other junglers just do a bit more than him, but we'll have to see as the game kind of like shifts over the next couple of weeks. Masteries are actually up to you. You can either go Colossus with your ultimate and make insects not hurt as much, but I'm not sure really it's really worth the early game power you lose if you don't go Thunderlords. Items, Warrior, Black Cleaver, more of Mortius, Dead Man's, and Guardian Angel is probably going to be like your standard Lee Sin carry build now. Nidalee is going to be the last champion because with all of these assassins flying around, I think she's just too easy to pick off and ruin early now. If you're a really good Nidalee player, then sure, you can still out gank, you can out pressure like always, but like her heal now sucks so much ass early, her clear is average, she gets kind of low, and against like a Shaco or a Kha'Zix, I just think you're going to have a really bad day. Plus we have the removal of Strength of the Ages as well, so we kind of have to go like Thunderlords now, which seems like the best option, but it's very glass cannon. Items would still be the same, Runic Echoes, Ryers, Lichbane and stuff, no raw changes there, so I feel like she can be really good, but she probably is not really fitting this meta right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching right until the end, but for now, let's go to the robots.